What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're once again back here on Madden 26, here doing another rebuild of teams eliminated from the playoffs. Today we have the San Francisco 49ers, who of course were eliminated in the divisional round to the Seahawks. Honestly, it's quite impressive that Kyle Shanahan in this Niners roster got as far as they did with what they've dealt with this year. So I'm impressed in that regard. Obviously, this team has been in the Super Bowl twice under Kyle Shanahan. Unfortunately, doesn't come out on top either time. But today, our agenda, our goal is to change that. So let's go ahead, jump in, rebuild the Niners after they've been eliminated from the divisional round. Madden, unfortunately, still to this point, has not updated franchise mode. It's just insane. I keep coming on here thinking, okay, maybe it'll finally be updated. Still not to that point. So, Rams and the Patriots apparently met up in the Super Bowl according to the rest of the Madden sim. I did force every win. I have to do it every single time. It's actually getting kind of irritating to do. But the Rams went on to win the Super Bowl over the Patriots. Josh Allen's your MVP. Vrabel's your coach of the year. John Taylor is your offensive player. Myles Garrett's your DPOY. McMillan is your offensive rookie. And then Schlesinger is your defensive rookie of the year. We actually have $133 million in cap space, which I'm a little surprised by. I didn't realize we'd have that much money. But then it also kind of makes sense because the Niners did have a lot of talent walk like the previous offseason or one of these previous offseasons. And this is before we even cut Brandon Ayuk. And I don't even know how much we'll save on that, but we know for sure we're doing that. It doesn't seem like he's going to be playing in a Niners jersey. I mean, who knows if he's even going to be playing football for all we know. I assume he will be, but I don't know, man. So we have Juwan Jennings, B-Rob is a free agent, Kendrick Bourne, Gross Matos, Sky Moore, Jason Pelnock, Colton McKivitz. So there is a couple guys that I have interest in bringing back here. So let's go ahead and start up with the top, that being Juwan Jennings. I do want to keep him around if we can. 2-year deal, not going to be too expensive. B-Rob, they did trade for. Obviously, CMC is the guy here. But I will resign B-Rob to another cheap deal. We have a lot of money to work with, so why not? Bourne, I'll probably let walk. Matos, we'll give him a 1-year deal for depth if we want to bring him back, so we'll go with him. And then last but not least, I think McKivitz was definitely someone I was kind of wanting to bring back too. I'll give him a 2-year deal. That gives about $90 million in cap space to work with. And like I said, that's before we cut Brandon Ayuk, which I assume it won't let me do so just yet because he is injured, I believe. And I'm pretty sure his name won't even show up here if I had to guess. It is here, or I guess we can cut him already. So I am going to go, or no, I can't. So yeah, I can't cut him yet, but as soon as we get the chance, I absolutely will. Obviously, he will not be playing, like I said, a Niners jersey ever again, more than likely. So yeah, he is going to be cut as soon as we can. So let's go ahead and get into free agency, and let's see what this is going to look like and what we need to address for this Niners team. It's already in a pretty good spot. They got some talent, but definitely could be improved some other places. So we all know Kittle towards Achilles, so who knows how long that places him out for next year. But guys have been recovering from that injury a lot sooner than we would imagine. So maybe we do go ahead and still expect him to start week 1 next year. Purdy, CMC, McCaffrey, Jennings. To me, the one thing that I definitely would like to add to this team is a wide receiver 1. That's for sure. O-line could be improved a little bit too, especially at left tackle with Trent Williams retiring on us. Even though he did just say, like in one of those Amazon post-game shows, that he's going to be playing for a lot longer, but unfortunately there's really nothing I can do about it. He did retire, so I can't have him, which sucks because now I have to address that even though I shouldn't have to. So defensively, obviously once Bosa is healthy and Fred Warner's healthy, this defense will look even better. But there's some things that are okay over here. So let's go head up for agency and let's see what we can add to this Niners team. You know, I'm a little surprised to see Mike Evans sitting here in free agency, but I said I wanted to get a wide receiver 1, and he is definitely somebody I do want to bring in on this team. So Mike Evans is going to come in and be our #1 wide receiver. I had to point that out. I got super excited to see his name. He is older, but he is still someone who can ball, and I think he will elevate us, which is what I wanted. So I got to highlight that, but we still have a couple more guys I wanted to sign really quickly. So yeah, these are going to be the only 2 signings I make. Hopefully the only 2. So Poona Forts, poaching him over from our division rival, and Mike Evans. So let's go ahead and bring both of those guys in if we can, if Mike Evans chooses us, which he does. Kind of surprised to have seen him in free agency, but I'm very happy to have him because that addresses a need right away. I think we'll be probably using our 1st-round pick on a tackle. There really wasn't any good ones in free agency. So I do want to protect Brock Purdy's blind side. Really wish Trent Williams would have not retired because it doesn't sound like he's going to in real life. And then, of course, as I mentioned, I don't know if it's going to give me the ability to do it yet, but I do want to cut Ayuk as soon as I can. So let's see if I can yet. Ayuk, can we release him yet? Yes, we can. So Brandon Ayuk will be released. and he is gone now. So now your depth is basically Robinson, Pearsall, Jennings, and Mike Evans, which I feel pretty solid about. So let's go ahead and jump into this draft. We'll probably be trying to draft offensive line for the most part. Maybe you see me go tight end as well, because Kittle's only getting older. Fred Warner and Bosa being healthy is going to help. And of course, we need to get Puna Ford on this D-line, which makes it look a little bit better. And I wouldn't hate maybe drafting a corner as well. We'll see, though, once we get in there. So I am going to be taking Isaiah Wold here late in the first round to be our first pick out of this team. 86 in true value, got him at 26, but he's going to be replacing Trent Williams, which is probably our biggest loss of the offseason with him entering retirement in the Madden sim. So that's going to be where we go with our first round pick, and now we'll see what we can get in the second round. In the second round, I'm going to be selecting Tacario Davis out of Washington to be another corner out of this team. I said I wanted to improve that room a little bit, and I feel like Tacario Davis does. Tacario, I don't know why I said Tacario. Only normal dev, unfortunately, but I still think he will be someone who could rotate in there. So I still feel fairly certain about that pick. And then I'm going to end it off here in round 3 with Parker Brailsford out of Alabama. Continue to try to improve this O-line. This one was not as good as a pick, but it still gives us B+ value on it. So I have to imagine that he still is a somewhat decent overall. So was it a great draft? Not necessarily, but this team is already talented enough that I think we'll be fine. But we definitely need to see some guys continue to develop and get better. Hopefully Pearsall can stay healthy this year. Let's go take a look at the lineup going into year number 1, I guess, because the other year one really didn't count. So going into the season, we get to open up against the Seattle Seahawks. We're an 84 overall with an 85 offense and an 84 defense. Let's go ahead and take a look at the team. Of course, the Niners did lose Robert Saleh once again to the Titans. Of course, he left, for the Jets job back in the day. He comes back, and now he is left for the Titans job. So they've lost him twice now. So it'll be interesting. I don't think they've hired someone else just yet in his place. Maybe they have, and I just don't remember. But Purdy, CMC, Mike Evans, Pearsall, at least as when I'm recording this, obviously. Juwan Jennings. World is the new starter here. We have Colby. I guess I should have probably gotten a left guard as well. So the O-line is still nothing spectacular, but it's all good. Defensively, Mustafa, Winters, Fred Warner healthy, Martin, Brown, Renardo Green, Stout, and then Tacario Davis in 75, so not bad. Nick Bosa still unfortunately is out for one more week. I'm going to leave the playbooks the same, other than I might change the scheme on this one to make this fit a little bit better. So I'm going to go, with that. And we'll leave that the same. Okay, so I'm expecting to be able to make the playoffs in year number 1, I would say. But I will say, these last few videos with these playoffs teams, we've missed the playoffs in year 1. Happened with the Bears and the Texans video. So, would not shock me if we missed the playoffs here entirely, which would be annoying, but it would not be surprising in the slightest. So exactly what I said could happen did indeed happen. We finished up at 6-11 and missed the playoffs entirely. You got the Broncos and the Bucks who met up in the Super Bowl. Here are your awards across the board, as the Broncos won Super Bowl MVP with Bo Nix. They won the Super Bowl in general. So let's see where things went wrong. Offensively, we were 20th in the NFL. Okay, and then defensively, we were 27th in the NFL. So neither side of the ball was particularly great. Purdy, 26 and 10. That's not horrible. 8 touchdowns, 12 yards from McCaffrey. I'm assuming he was involved in the air as well with 234 yards there. Pearsall, Mike Evans, both had 800 yards, and Pearsall did have a pretty good year, so maybe he unlocks star dev at least. That would be nice to take away from this. Jennings had no touchdowns in the year, but did have 780 yards. Kittle, 7 touchdowns, 560 yards. And then defensively, Nick Bosa did not have a great season by any means, with 9.5 sacks, 8 from Michael Williams, 6.5 from Ford. And then I will say, though, Jair Brown had himself one hell of a year, so hopefully he jumps up in dev trait as well with 6 picks. But unfortunately, the team was still not good, which is what we would, have loved to have. What we would prefer to be in the playoffs, obviously. So let's go see what cap situation is looking like. It's not looking particularly great here. So Brown jumped up to superstar dev, not surprised by that. Keon White, Bryce Huff, Pearsall, 5th-year option, which I'm going to accept him. Mac Jones, I'll let go. Matos, I'll let go. So the only guy I have any interest in bringing back, well, actually 2. D. Winters, I want to bring back, and I also want to bring back Brown as well after the season he just had. So let's see if we can bring both of them back, but I'll let everyone else probably go. So hopefully we can get Jair Brown back to continue to be our starter with him being a superstar dev. Other than that, we'll let the rest of the cavalry walk with Bosa and Michael Williams. I think those 2 could start. So I think we'll be fine at edge rusher with letting a couple of them walk. We had a lot of depth there, to be honest with you. But $8 million in cap space, so I don't think we'll be big players in free agency if I had to guess. So let's go ahead and see what things are looking like. So we got World, who's up to star dev, need to improve the interior of the offensive line. Unfortunately, Pearsall did not jump up, and Mike Evans is going down already with but he'll be an 83 overall. So I don't know, man. We'll have to see how we can improve. So defensively, we have Warner, Bosa, Collins, Puna Ford, Lenore, Mustafa's up to star dev. So no complaints from me as far as like the talent level of this defense. I actually kind of like the look of it. But unfortunately, it was not very good last year. So we'll go see where we could improve. Is there any like obvious guys to cut or trade away? I guess I would say. So if we look at savings, it would be Bosa. He's got 2 years left. McCaffrey, I'm not trading away, although we'd save $22.5 million by doing so. McKivitz, Ford, Mike Evans, who we gave a big deal to, and of course he's starting to regress a little bit. So maybe I regret that a little bit, but I don't anticipate us doing anything in free agency. I think it's going to have to be addressed through the draft. Although, man, McDuffie is interested in coming here, so that is definitely interesting. Campbell is also interested. We'd have to absolutely go through, I don't know. Do we find a way to get McDuffie on this team with him being so interested in coming to this defense? I don't mind the corner room. It's nothing special, but man, McDuffie out of this team would definitely make me extremely happy. So part of me is wondering if we should do something. I'm tempted to do so, but I don't even think I gotta try, man. If we can get McDuffie on this team, I think we have to attempt to do so. So after one stop with us, I'm gonna send Mike Evans over to the Browns and dump his contract, basically. So that still probably won't free enough money, but we're getting somewhere with that. We're gonna need 12 million more, so we have to restructure somebody, but I'm all in on getting McDuffie on this team. So, or we could cut someone, but I'm fine with restructuring at least one player. I think we could do something there. Get McDuffie on this team. That frees up 20 million. That'd be enough. That frees up 12 million. Kittle would free up 5. That's not what we want to do. Purdy would free up 16. So I think it will be we'll go ahead and restructure Nick Bosa's contract, and we will get Trey McDuffie in free agency. So McDuffie would feel like a really good addition if we can get him. A lot of money, but I am so happy with him. So we're going to go ahead and give it to him. It would be funny if the Rams get him over us. We at least tried, and hopefully he chose us. Moment of truth. Did he choose us? Madden's frozen right now. He did. Okay, so that was all worth it. So McDuffie out of this defense, absolutely worth it. Let's go hit up the draft now. We'll also have a top pick. Will Jeremiah Smith fall to us at pick 7? Doubt it, but it would be nice. But we'll go see what we can get outside of him. Unfortunately, Jeremiah Smith went off the board already, but I am going to be continuing to build this offensive line. I feel like we need to address the interior, so I'm going with Monroe Freeling, who might be moved over to left guard, basically, and then I'm hoping in round 2 we get a wide receiver to replace Mike Evans. So I could have taken one of the wide receivers that were still on the board, but I'm expecting one of them to at least be here still in round 2. We'll see if I'm correct on that thinking. Yeah, so some of the guys we could have taken are still on the board. So you have Wesco, Cam Coleman, or Nick Marsh. I mean, I guess it just depends on who we want. So Brian Wesco has solid speed. Cam Coleman on Auburn has great speed. And then Nick Marsh, and then there's Ryan Williams as well. Nick Marsh has good speed. I think I'm going with Cam Coleman. So Cam Coleman is going to be the new addition to this Niners offense, and I'm going to be very happy with this. So 44 in true value, got him at 39, 93 speed. Welcome to the Niners. So we've added McDuffie, we added a new offensive lineman, we added Cam Coleman. Let's try to end it off here with a bang in round 3 if we can. This may be offensive line, so I don't know how much of a bang that would be. But we do have like Caleb Harris, which I like my safeties, but you can never have enough depth there. Definitely don't need to go for corner. I think we're more than fine there. So I am going to go ahead and take Caleb Harris. So Caleb Harris, another Auburn player, is coming to the team, and I'm going to end it off there feeling pretty solid. So 36 true value, hidden dev, and our defense needs to be really good next year because we did a lot to this defense this offseason. So let's go take a look at the lineup going to next year, and hopefully we can bounce back and make the playoffs again. So here is the lineup going into this next season. So we have Brock Purdy. They also drafted us the Nico guy, which is kind of interesting. CMC, Jennings, Pearsall, Coleman, and Burks. We have Kittle, McKivitz, Pooney, Brailsford, Freeling, and Isaiah World. Defensively, we have Mustafa. We have Caleb Harris over here as now as well. Brown, Martin, Fred Warner, D. Winters, Michael Williams, Puna Ford, Collins, Bosa, Lenore, Ronaldo Green, and of course Trey McDuffie. And we have Stout and Tacario Davis as well. So a lot of depth at the cornerback position. We need to be back in the playoffs. Like, there's no excuse for this team not to be in there. So hopefully we find ourselves in the playoffs We shall see. The defense should be the reason why we're there. They should be phenomenal, but you never know with this game, so we're going to find out at the end of year number 2. So at the end of this season, while things did improve, we finished up at 8-9. So really not quite what we were looking for, I will say. Offensively, we were better. That has to mean our defense maybe held us down. Just, yeah, 23rd. I mean, it's middle of the pack. I guess it's not a bad defense. 33-8, 8 touchdowns, 1,000 yards from CMC. Wow, Pearsall, holy moly. If this man doesn't jump up dev trait now, I don't know what would. 23 touchdowns is insane. Okay. Shout out to freaking Pearsall for 23 touchdowns on the year. Brock Purdy got him the rock. Defensively, we're not getting a lot of production out of the sacks department, so I may look to change defensive playbook. Probably should have done it last year, but I didn't. Could have, but I wanted to give this, I don't know, it just didn't work. It just didn't work. So let's get to the offseason and continue to better this team, even though we should have already been a playoff team up to this point, but not quite there yet. So I'm not quite surprised to see we don't have a ton of money to work with in free agency. The one person I do know is a free agent is Christian McCaffrey, so that is going to be kind of interesting to balance. So Michael Williams, 5th-year option, we are going to bring back. McCaffrey, Pooney is a free agent as well. Renardo Green, Mustafa, Jennings, Puna Ford. So there's quite a few guys we'll be losing in free agency, and that's just kind of what it's what I did. I went after. I can actually might be able to bring CMC back low key. Can I get him back? Would he sign? He does. So somehow we're able to keep Christian McCaffrey the little amount of money that we did have. I would like to keep Pooney as well, but we may not have the luxury of doing so. So let's go see if there's any other obvious players to cut. Obviously, Bosa, we could cut him, but probably won't be doing that. Purdy, I won't be doing that. We can free up a lot of money, though. Yeah, I think I will, because, this is maybe it. Like, if this team can't win next year, then I don't even know if we're going to go anywhere in this rebuild at all. So I'm going to look to bring back Dominic Pooney, who is our best O-lineman. So, yeah, let's bring him back. And then anybody else I want to bring back out of here. Jennings could probably be let go. Ford can let go. McKivitz could probably go. Green, we could probably let go. We have a lot of depth at corner anyway. Mustafa, I mean, we did just draft Caleb Harris, so you could make the argument we let him go as well. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So, we're going to go into free agency with $12.5 million in cap space. I don't anticipate using it a whole lot. I think the draft is going to continue to be our best friend here. So, let's go take a look to see how much worse we've gotten on east side of the ball with some of the guys walking out the door. So, we have Watkins as well. Is he a wide receiver? Oh, Kittle retired on us. Damn, that's a big loss. So, we're going to need a new tight end, so that's kind of something to address. We know we need a new right tackle with McKivitz gone. So we have CMC, James, Pearsall, Burks, Coleman. So I don't think I get another wide receiver here. We're going to need a new tight end. We're going to need a new right tackle. And we haven't even looked at the defense just yet. So Harris and Jair Brown. And then, yeah, this is probably going to have to be good enough on the defensive side, other than maybe we get a D tackle. But other than that, this is your defense probably next year. So let's see if there's anybody we can get free agency to address some of these problems. So we have Joe Alt, which we probably don't have enough money for. We have to be somewhat cheap here. So I'm kind of looking to hopefully replace tight end here if we can. There's Washington, Cole Kmet, Mayer. I mean, there's nothing spectacular here. All right, maybe O-line is the move. Can we go Alt? We probably don't have enough money for that. Yeah, no, we do not. So Alt's going to be off the table. We could get Rosengarten, who's 26, or we can bring McKivitz back. Rosengarten, oh, we don't have enough money for him either, actually. So, what about D tackles? Jonathan Allen, probably don't have enough for him. Nope. Anybody we could bring in, Travis Jones or John Franklin Myers, or we come down here and grab, like, Johnny Newton. So, we'll bring him in. He's 26 years old. If we can bring him in, I think that'd be just fine. Yeah, it's going to be the only thing we do. So, Newton's going to be brought in, and that's all we got. So, let's go ahead and hit up the draft. And let's go see what we can do in said draft. So in round 1, it feels like I've taken an offensive lineman in round 1 in every freaking draft so far, but it's been a problem for us. I'm taking Michael Carroll here to be that new right tackle to replace Colt McKivitz. He's going to be 11 in true value, got him at 13. So that feels like a damn good pick. This O-line should be really good next year. So now we need to get a tight end, hopefully in round 2, and I'd feel pretty good about this offseason if we can get that. So I'll be taking Carter Nelson here with our second round pick. He has elite speed out of Nebraska, so I'm sold already. Elite speed tight end, welcome to the team. 77 true value, got him at 45, but he is hidden depth. So that will take me into next year. I'll let the AI take care of the rest. We have a starter pretty much everywhere, and I'm fully anticipating making the playoffs in this next season. If we do not, then this video isn't going anywhere, and I'll probably just call it GG's because there's no reason why we've been able to, yeah, it just won't work. playbooks will be changed going to next year. We have to do that. It feels like I'll probably keep the offensive playbook the same, but we'll definitely be changing the defensive one. So let's go take a look and see if we can finally make the damn playoffs, man. It's long overdue. So let's go take a look at this lineup. So new right tackles coming to town and new tight end. So 78 and 75. Nice to see that. Pearsall is your wide receiver 1. Defensively, we brought in Newton, so that didn't change too much. The only thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the defensive playbook to Sean McDermott's. Even though he's been fired in real life, I'm bringing him in, or bringing his playbook in, and I think that should improve our defense. Hopefully, that's the plan. So I'll see you guys at the end of this year, and hopefully we can finally make the damn postseason. It'd be nice to see that for once, at least in this video. So at the end of the season, we finished up at 13-4 and finally make the playoffs in this video. It looks like if maybe we won week 18, we'd have a bye. Someone must have gotten it at, yeah, the Giants went 14-3. So who knows if we would have even had a tiebreaker over them. But one team I am seeing is the Philadelphia Eagles, which the Niners, of course, just beat them in the playoffs in real life. So Nick Bosa finally had himself a season that you'd expect out of him with 19 sacks. So here were your player stats. Offensively, 27th in the NFL. So our offense went from 13th to 27th. Defensively, we were second, though. I mean, Buffalo's defense, man, always seems to work in the Madden sim for me, at least. 7 touchdowns, 1,000 yards from McCaffrey. Pearsall with 700 yards. I'm definitely considering changing the offensive playbook, which is weird to say, but I just don't love what I'm seeing right now. So I am going to do it. I'm going to change the offense playbook before we go in these playoffs, because I'm not trying to get in here and lose in round 1, because that looks like that might be what happens if we don't change this. So I'm going to change the offense playbook to, you know what? I already saw Cincinnati, so we're going to do it. So offense playbook, we're going to the Bengals, and we're going to hopefully advance all the way to the Super Bowl and get Kyle Shanahan that ring that he so desires. So this time we don't have to go on the road in Philly. Instead, they come to Levi Stadium. So let's go see if we can't come out here and get a win, as we will. Okay, so what? Okay, we missed a 23-yard field goal to start the game. That's awesome. We do tie it up 7-7. Get a stop midfield. We go up 10-7. Could be up 13-7, but we missed a 23-yard field goal. How does that even happen? Fred Warner with a big pick, but we're not quite out of the woods yet. This should put us in the driver's seat, though. 21-7 victory. So we beat the Eagles again, and we're moving on to the divisional round. So thankfully, we got to the playoffs and won a playoff game, but let's get a divisional round, and let's see if we can advance past that this time around. I don't know if Seahawks, I wasn't paying attention to see if the Seahawks made the playoffs or not, but I want to see them if we can. Unfortunately, Seahawks did not make the playoffs, but we're back at home here once again in Levi Stadium. We have the Buccaneers coming to town. So let's go ahead and see if we can come out here and get another win. 7-0, interception from Caleb Harris, and we're up 14-0 just like that. 14-3, it's looking pretty good for us right now. And yeah, it's safe to say that this game is probably going to go the way we're looking at it right now, unless they make a late comeback, but it looks like this should be enough. So 27-13 victory over the Buccaneers, and now we are headed to the NFC Championship game. So let's go see who's in front of us in that one. So far, it's been smooth sailing. Let's go see if it continues with that in the NFC Championship game before the Super Bowl. Not surprised to see that we're headed to the Giants, or MetLife, I guess I should say. That's a little bit of a better way to say it. But yeah, they went 14-3. Giants playbook is a playbook that's pretty OP in Madden. It's a snowy day as well here in MetLife. They go up 7-0, but we do tie it. So it looks like points will be scored in this game. Hopefully we can match their energy. 7-14. It looked like we had a drive going there for a second, but it's 21-7. We need to score here. We do get it. We get a stop. Can we go tie it here? Can we now tie it? We do. 21-21. We get the ball here. And okay, a minute 39 left. We are at midfield, so all we need to do is get in field goal range, and we have this game won, basically. So let's come out here and hopefully make that happen. We're going to start from our own 49. So yeah, we're in great position to hopefully come out here and put this game away. I'm going to just simply throw it to my tight end. Doesn't pick up a ton, but still 4-yard gain. Purdy's thrown 3 touchdowns on the day, so things are looking good. Now we'll slip screen to McCaffrey. Let's get him the ball. We know that's always a good thing to do, so let's get him the ball here in space. And we are going to get, no, we do not get a first down. It looked like we had an easy first down, but unfortunately that is not what happened at all. All right, now we need to get a first down, although I will say I would maybe consider this 4-down territory. I might throw Burks on a go. They might just let him free up the seam. Yep, he's there. Just sit down on it. There we go. Gonna just possession that one. Dable still on the sideline coaching the Giants, even though we know, of course, in real life he is gone. Madden, we need an update, man. I'm telling you. I don't know why it's taking so long, but let's go see if I can't be, a little bit of a gamble here And they are going to leave X wide open. I forgot who that was, but that's going to get us inside the 10, basically, at the 11 to be exact. But this should put the game away. The Giants have no timeouts remaining, so all we need to do is just bleed this clock out, kick our field goal, or just go score, whatever we want to do. I'm just going to get down because, oh my gosh, I did not need to do it like that. But that should put us in position to just go off and win this game. So I'm going to go ahead and put on true clock, and we'll kick our field goal. So field goals coming to town on, and of course the clock is not going to go. Okay, that's nice. Even though I put on true clock, it doesn't matter. So I guess I'll just cut to when I'm kicking a field goal. All right, field goal is going up, and of course it is good. No surprise. They have 9 seconds to respond. They shouldn't get the chance to do so, and we will win 24-21. So another playoff victory as we get Kyle Shanahan to his 3rd Super Bowl, of course, as a head coach, because he's been there before with the Falcons as well. He has not won one at all. So let's go make it happen. Hopefully in this one here, we'll see if that will be the case or not. Of course, it is super poetic to see who will be playing in the Super Bowl, and you guys could probably guess who it is. It's the team that the Niners have played the last 2 times when they've been there. Of course, once under Jimmy G, the other time under Brock Purdy. It's under Brock Purdy again, and as you can see, it is indeed the Kansas City Chiefs. So it is time for us to hopefully lock in and finally beat this team. 3rd time is a charm, as they would say, as we're going to go up 7-0, but they respond really quickly. So it's 7-7. We get a big interception from Lenore. We go up 10-7, take advantage of the turnover, but we don't get a touchdown off of it, which is a little scary. And let's see if we can't go score here. 17-14. 20-14. Can we go out here and win this one? 28-14. It's looking good, and I think it's safe to say we have won a Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers. So that is going to end it here for me, fellas. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.